Today we welcome Trevor Sumner, CEO of Perch. Welcome, Trevor. All right, Trevor Sumner, let's get into it. This is so exciting. We're going to really want to hear from you. So how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. A lot of exciting movement in technology. There's certainly inflation and recessionary concerns that are creating some uncertainty. But right now, I think there's never been a better time to be a part of retail in the way that it's changing, the way that it's being technology enabled. I think finally, we've talked about the digitization of store. For a guy like me, whose mission has been to figure out how technology can enhance and improve the physical world, I think we're actually at the point where we're going to start doing it. Ironically, the only place not to get the digital content you need to make a product decision is in store, where 85% of purchase decisions are made. You realize so much on the messaging outside of the store. You're so limited with what message you have at the shelf, and yet that's where the decision's made. And so we're opening up portals to interactivity, to education, to brand connection, where it matters most, at the most targeted audience, at the furthest down of the funnel, at the point of at the final product consideration. And I think that when we get to the point where we can look at the value of that media, you're going to find that it's 10 times more valuable than Facebook or Google or any of those, because it's a targeted shopper. They're in front of your product. They're 20 feet from the point of sale. And now you have a full arsenal to tell that message at a pace that's not pushed on the shopper in a way that's uncomfortable, but is a way that actually enhances the shopper experience. Online, you click on a product to get more information. The moment I click on this product, tell me about that product. And so the digital content that's suited for that decision is actually readily obvious. What we're really doing is instrumenting the clicks in the physical world. It's just a product detail page. It's an image, it's videos, it's ratings, it's reviews, it's cross-sell. And so how do we scale the clicks at retail? How do we not only think about what is the right content at the right time and also to the right person, but also can we measure the clicks at retail and for the first time see like which content changes the way I click? If you pick up a Band-Aid, can I get you to click on the Neosporin? If you pick up a Band-Aid, can I get you to convert higher by taking it away? And computer vision enables all of that insight. So super exciting time.
Can you explain clicks at retail a little bit? Like, how are you connecting a sale? I don't understand the technology behind that.
That's a great question. I think of touching a product as a click. So then the question, and a good question, is then how do you correlate that to a sale? Right now, what we do is we look at the point of sale data. And I believe with computer vision, we can do a lot more to actually look at sales at the shelf. We're going to be able to look at those conversion ratios without having to hook into the point of sale for the future.
I support anything that mimics a great online experience inside brick and mortar. And when you're shopping online, a PDP page, you can dig into it and you can click links to gather information, right? So it's educate, then sell. I mean, that's kind of the world we live in, or entertain, then sell. And it's astounding to me that one in consumer sends a lot of people away from their site to YouTube to get actual information.
Just by providing the right message at the right time, Perch stores versus non-Perch stores, routinely 30 to 180% sales lift for Perch stores. Just providing video, rating, review related products, you'll get at least 30% sales lift.
Interesting.
Exactly. Now that we're instrumenting the clicks at retail, one of the things we found out at Johnson & Johnson was they had an end cap, a beauty end cap that had like Kerry Washington for Neutrogena and Jennifer Aniston for Aveeno. And so these are the spokespeople, the kind of advertising messages. And at the bottom shelf, they had Clean and Clear. And they were like, oh, we don't have a spokesperson, so we're just going to use UGC Instagram content. And can you measure, Perch? How much does that hurt us? It's like, yeah, well, we can measure from pickup to screen conversion, whether the content engaged them, and pickup to sale. And even though it's on the bottom shelf and traditional digital signage would say, lowest number of clicks on the screen overall, which was true, but the conversion rate from pickup to screen, the conversion rate from pickup to sale was the highest. So they said, oh, maybe this actually helps us. And so they changed all the other content. They got rid of Kerry Washington and Jennifer Aniston, and they saw a 10% sales lift. And so what's interesting is I think you're pointing out that we have a feeling that these experiences would drive different behaviors. But now we have the technology to actually test these things. We can merge together both the art and the science and put it together and create a platform by which we can test these theories. So, data is a really big part of what we do.
Let's talk about retail media networks. Everyone's talking about it.
Retail media networks are a phenomenal way to make money. It's like we gave up so much to Facebook and Google, who squeezed all the margins out of advertising. Walmart, which has $1 billion retail media network business, almost all online, is bundling in-store opportunities and expanding that out quite a bit. It's because those audiences are extraordinarily valuable. If you look at how many people are on Walmart.com versus Walmart right now, right? Like the in-store audiences are actually more valuable and more sizable. Retail media networks budgets, spending goes to the retailer. It's not cannibalizing shopper marketing budgets, it's cannibalizing Facebook and Google. And so we're starting to take the money back from Facebook and Google. But the key, if you talk to Walmart advertisers, is there's not enough volume just in the e-commerce play in their categories, but there definitely is in store.
You're saying that the sites, the .com sites, don't warrant retail media networks? Because there are, I don't have to tell you, but there are major retailers now forming these media entities, and it's for mostly .com. It's for all .com. No one talks about it in store.
It's absolutely mostly .com. So to give you a sense, Walmart again has $1 billion business. It's going to go to 1.5 this year, right? So make no mistake, it's large. But if you think about a billion, right, divided up by every little advertiser, all of a sudden you're starting to deal with smaller budgets that it's much easier to scale up on Facebook advertising than Walmart. And you can grow Walmart.com, I don't know, 10, 15% a year. That's typically what e-commerce revenues are growing. That's not going to solve the problem, right? You actually need a sizable audience shift that is a multiple. And so you either just put ads everywhere on the page, and some people are doing that, right? Lots more ad formats, or you open up new traffic sources. Right now, the vast majority of retail media networks definitely online. We will see that audience development start coming in store.
So do we see this where you walk in, there's like a really big screen that the store itself sells that media to whomever wants to be on the screen and have a digital billboard?
That's absolutely happening. I don't know that it's going to be a really big screen as opposed to lots of different screens by category, by department that are programmatically bought and sold. You're seeing pretty large investments in those areas from people like CVS Health, their health hubs, Kroger, Walgreens is, lighting up 5G in 9,000 stores specifically to create interactivity at the shelf and those type of things. And so the CapEx investment necessary to start, putting these screens throughout the store in a way that resonates with shoppers is going to take us a while to build up that inventory. But once they do, it's just going to be a high margin revenue stream that cannibalizes budgets from other places. And that's going to be good for everybody.
Are you using facial recognition to target ads based on gender, age?
We are about to introduce some new technologies to do that. There are some people who've done that already. And I think it's a really important word I want to focus on that you mentioned was ad. A lot of what's been done in digital signage is advertising. It's blinky text, it's interruptive, it's buy one, get one free. Look over here, look over here. I know you're shopping over here, but you should be paying attention over here. And kind of like a banner ad. And the way I think about what the future should be is more around content marketing, right? And giving something that's contextual and helpful. And so, yes, it is a message like advertising, but also it should be helpful in the shopper journey. It should help you make a decision. It should be specific and contextual to what you're doing. And from that perspective, I think of it much more like content marketing. But from a monetization perspective, it's certainly coming from ad budgets and other places like that.
Are we talking about just like the newest, better version of RFID? I want to see what gets touched. I want to see what gets put back. I want to see what sells. Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah, it's similar, but it doesn't really do it well. If you put RFID on 50 different SKUs on a shelf, there's so much radio frequency noise bouncing off the metal fixtures and everything, you can't actually tell anything. It's not just enough to have the data. Perch has other capabilities. It's like, well, what was the message that changed the behavior? And
Right.
do you have a closed loop environment for testing creative, testing merchandising promotions? We're at the beginning of this journey where we're going to shine a light to what actually happens in store. And we're going to discover all these areas to improve, to optimize, to even give feedback to brands about what actually happens in store.
What the customer craves is information from trusted sources.
It's about authenticity and brand message, but it's also about education, right? And the fact that these screens are interactive, where you can explore on your own and not just rely on a pushed message that may or may not hit with you,
Right.
is critical. And I think about, our display with Dove at Giant Food, and you pick up a skincare product, it tells you about the whole regimen, and you can get all the information, but it also links to Dove's self-esteem project and beauty in real life, and really reminds you why you care about Dove. And if you think about, like, okay, you're a brand, how are you going to do that with 4-point print on the back of a bottle?
The amount that they spend on creating a company's big message gets amortized because now you have many more opportunities to get that message out there, and whatever content you've created with a huge advertising budget, to chop it up and have it go into these types of mini digestible formats. Now, I'm going to push back on something. Like, we all have Perch screens in our pockets. Like, what are we doing? I'm going to go in a building and look at a screen. Is there a way to kind of get all that information, but just like, can I QR code it to my phone while I'm standing at that point of purchase?
Integration with the mobile phone is extraordinarily important. People don't want to walk around like this, all the way to a retail store. Like, it literally takes you away from shopping and into the phone. And so there's got to be kind of some solution. We have QR codes in every single one of our implementations so that you can QR code it, you can save it for later and bookmark it. If you prefer to do it and explore on your mobile app, great. You can offer endless aisles. Frankly, QR codes leave us wanting. People don't really want that. You have not seen a single case study of QR code usage at retail at the shelf because nobody wants to talk about it.
What you're providing really helps address labor issues. People want to know, and humans are not always where they need to be. Educate, then sell. Give information, then sell. Entertain, then sell. It's no longer just a transactional one-way thing. I appreciate you giving us that forward look, because you've kind of got that lifeguard chair like view, like you can see what's coming. What else can you see? Share with us.
You talked a little bit about mobile being critical, and I think there are all kinds of ways that mobile can help through NFC and technologies from Apple that are getting better. Right now, it's technologies like, but we're getting there. It's actually a lot more interesting than metaverse, and people are crazy about the metaverse this year, even though, most of it's promotional at this point.
It's still finding its way.
If shopping is about connecting people and products, is something that affects your in-store experience and allows you to see the physical world going to impact you more than the metaverse for a long time coming? Yes, I think so. I certainly hope so.
I actually think there's enough for both. I don't think it has to be either or. I think also there are getting to be more and more differences between how people like to be served. Retail is about service and being served. So if you are of a certain generation and you want to do metaverse things, go for it. Have a good time. If you
Yeah,
want to
no,
go to
I bel-
CVS, pick up some Dove soap, and some people you would never catch them in a store. So I think that all of it is an improvement with the customer at the center. The customer is like, how does this serve me? It serves you because we'll have the things that you want in the store when you want it, for starters.
Yep, yep. And I think it serves us when we support things that we believe in, right?
What's their lead in need? So in other words, are they like, I have a huge labor problem, I need silent sellers? Like, oh, this will help us, we just don't have enough people in the store, I need things to help me sell? Or are they like, I need data? The advantage that online selling has is data. Brick and mortar never had that. I want that. I want the same level of information in my stores. Or maybe there's a third option or a fourth option. What do you see as like the I'm hungry for this?
Labor shortage is very top of mind, but ultimately the most important thing is, are they going to make more money, right? I'd love to say that like this is about the shopper experience or, really improving the way shoppers shop. I think that tends to be a little bit more fuzzy, a little bit more artistic in its approach when we were talking earlier about art and science. We talk about how discovery is great in stores, and yet all the content we need for discovery, the only place you can't find it is in the store. I see that being transformative long term, but right now, especially in COVID, people have been, like forced with inventory and supply chain shortages, staffing shortages, and some acute operational issues that are a little bit more top of mind. Long term, I think it'll shift more towards, the shopper experience.
What verticals are you in?
So, we were doing a lot in different verticals going into the pandemic. We did perfume with Joe Malone and makeup with CoverGirl, Bourjois, Sephora. We still do a lot of beauty. We powered the Macy's fragrance bar. We were in electronics at Best Buy with A&D. And, when COVID hit, a lot of our customers shut their doors, said, they couldn't take the display items off the shelf. And so we had been investing, and this goes to like going away from kind of custom experiences and mortared scale, is really focusing on CPG and mass retail. And so, Purina is one of our biggest clients in the pet food space. And so we're really excited about taking this technology, which, at first seemed like, oh, this is future experiential, expensive. And what we've done is we've commoditized the platform, made it super affordable so that we're now like, what am I most excited about? Really thinking about like, how do we transform this? How do we create a real connection between the brand and the shopper? How do we leverage that connection as a retailer? I'm thinking about the entire shopper journey, what we call unified commerce.
This was fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. It's been a pleasure. All
Thank
right.
you.
Take care.
Bye.